Something eerie is unfolding in Japan. A manga created years ago has suddenly reemerged, and people are calling it a prophecy. A prophecy that points directly to one date, July 5th. Coincidence or chilling foresight? With seismic activity increasing and fears rising, many are asking, did a Japanese manga predict a real-world mega disaster? This is the story of fear, fiction, and the fine line between imagination and reality. It all started with a post on Japanese social media. A screenshot of a little-known manga panel began circulating, showing scenes of chaos, buildings collapsing, tidal waves sweeping across streets, and one haunting detail, a calendar marked July 5th. People were quick to brush it off, at first. But then the internet did what it does best. It started digging. Users tracked down the manga's origin, a dystopian graphic novel published in the late 1990s. Its story? A fictional Japan rocked by political unrest and a natural disaster that brings the country to its knees. What makes this unsettling isn't just the visuals, it's the specificity. The manga's timeline aligns eerily with present-day events. It shows escalating tensions, unusual weather, and finally, on July 5th, the earth shattering beneath Tokyo. The date isn't hidden. It's clear, circled, repeated multiple times in the manga's climax. So now, people are wondering, was this just artistic imagination or something more? To understand why this manga is causing real fear, we need to talk about something very real, the Nankai Trough. This undersea fault line runs off the southern coast of Japan, and scientists agree it's not a question of if a major quake will happen there, it's a question of when. The Japanese government has even modeled worst-case scenarios. A magnitude 8 or 9 earthquake, followed by a massive tsunami, could kill tens of thousands in minutes. It would devastate cities like Osaka, Nagoya, and even parts of Tokyo. And according to geological models, the Nankai Trough is overdue for such a quake. But here's where it gets even more bizarre. This isn't the first time Japanese pop culture has seemed prophetic. In the 1990s, anime like Tokyo Magnitude 8.0 predicted urban destruction from earthquakes with frightening realism, years before the 2011 Tohoku disaster. Akira, released in 1988, featured imagery of a destroyed Tokyo preparing for the 2020 Olympics, a full 3 decades before the actual events mirrored it. Fans have long speculated that manga artists tap into something deeper, whether it's cultural memory, scientific trends, or something less explainable. As July 5th approaches, online panic is rising. Hashtags like July 5th, Manga Prophecy, and Tokyo Quake 2025 are trending across X, TikTok, and YouTube. Some users claim to feel premonitions. Others are showing emergency kits, planning getaways to rural areas, or posting prayers. One viral TikTok with over 2 million views showed a Japanese family evacuating Tokyo, just in case. Skeptics, of course, are calling it mass hysteria, fueled by misinformation and TikTok algorithms. We reached out to seismologists and cultural historians. Their consensus: earthquakes are notoriously hard to predict, and fiction, no matter how detailed, isn't a scientific forecast.
There are three conditions for earthquake predictions: timing, location, or its magnitude. With today's scientific technology, we cannot predict an earthquake. Such spreading rumor is a hoax.
Still, even experts admit that Japan's seismic activity has increased in the past 12 months. Some smaller quakes have been felt across Shizuoka, Wakayama, and the Pacific coast, all areas that would be impacted by a Nankai event. And cultural historians say this fear isn't new. Japan has long had a collective trauma when it comes to natural disasters. As the date looms, Japan remains calm on the surface, but underneath, there's tension. Train stations are seeing slightly fewer commuters. Weather and earthquake alert apps are trending in app stores, and schools in some districts are rehearsing emergency drills, just in case. The Japanese Meteorological Agency. Meanwhile, online creators, researchers, and believers continue to speculate. Was this manga a coded warning, a lucky guess, or an example of fiction so powerful it shapes reality? It's easy to dismiss all of this as fantasy. After all, it's just a comic book, right? But history has shown us that sometimes art reflects the future in ways we don't fully understand. Whether this is prophecy, coincidence, or collective anxiety taking shape through story, one thing is clear: Japan is watching the calendar, and so is the world.